So we're going to be using my extra long stiletto full cover tips, and I'm going to be using a size 4 because that is what fits my thumb. And I'm going to start by painting the nail. You guessed it, we're going to paint it in whites. It's just going to give me a really nice base so I can see easily what I'm drawing onto. It's kind of like laying down a piece of paper, I suppose. Now, if you're doing this for somebody to wear, I would suggest just lightly buffing over the base of the nail. It's going to give your gel polish a much stronger adhesion. But these are just for myself and content, so I'm just going to go straight on top. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the lamp. So I'm just going to do one more coat of that white so that it's all one nice solid colour. And then I'm just going to pop that in the lamp for 30 seconds. Okay, so while that is in the lamp, I'm just going to take some black gel paint. And I'm also going to add a little bit of glass slipper top coat. I'm going to put that just next to it. And I'm just going to create a sketching gel. So I'm just going to mix those together. It's just going to water down the gel paint for me. Oh, I think that, oh no, that might be perfect. Okay, so for my sketchwork, I'm going to be using my 15mm Sturdy Boy. And I'm just going to load up my brush by twisting and pulling. And that's going to make sure all of the bristles on the brush are coated in gel polish. However, by twisting it, you're not going to have loads of bulk. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the eye. And that is going to be in the center landscape way. So I want to do it nice and small because I would like to ideally get the body in as well. So I'm going to do a really small oval. And then at the top of that oval, we're going to do a smaller oval. Just like that. And then just shy to the right, we're going to do another eye. And I think this one is slightly smaller. And I'm just doing really light little sketches at the moment. So under that right eye will be his, what do you call that, snout? We're just going to do a small little curve. Like that. And then we're going to do the side of his face. It's kind of going to mimic this eye line. Now you can do yours much bigger, you don't have to include the whole body. So if you come to the center of these eyes and you just put a dot at the top in the middle, and then that should be where that small little V comes down. Like that. side because that is just a diagonal. Follow that line. And then we're going to kind of mimic this eye line again, but we're going to come quite a bit wider. Just sketching that in. If we need to move it, we can. And that should come down to, it should be in line with, let me see, the end of this nose part here. So about there should be the bottom. And I will erase that a little bit in a minute, but I don't need to erase as I go small parts like that. I could just do it all at the end. Okay, so we've got the top of his cheek. Before I do that, I would like to put in this little line for his mouth. So we're just going to come slightly down here. And we're just going to do a small little flick like that. Now we're going to come back over and do the nose first, because then we can connect it to this line. So the nose is kind of a oval, I guess. And if you can imagine this nose line here, if you can imagine an invisible line here, then you can figure out where the start of this line will be. Can you see that? Let me zoom in a bit for you guys. Okay, so this line will connect to this line. Now, I'm not doing it in one because I want to make sure I do pull it low enough. So I'm looking at my image and then I'm looking back at the nail and I'm just pulling it around like that. Looks good. Now this bottom mouth part is in line with the edge of his eye, so it's about there. And then this is where his jumper will be, so we're going to do like a little S. Like that. And now this cheek, we're going to pretend there's a circle. Imagine you're doing a circle. And now you've got the bottom of this circle. That will also be the bottom of the head circle. So like that. Okay, I'm going to pop his hat in next. So if you just come to the right of the eye and you just kind of do a curved line like that. And then you come above this headline here, follow this line, mimic this line, but just go higher and connect it to that curve we just put in. Like that. So for the top of his hat, you want to come in line with this pupil, which is about there. and we're going to just do a nice diagonal line like that. Now the other side of his head is just shy of, the other side of his hat is just shy of his head, so it's about there. So roughly about there. Now we can put in his ear, which is a circle. Forget his hand for a moment, just focus on the ear. Sometimes you gotta forget parts of it until while you're doing other parts. Right, so we've got his hat, he's looking good. Right, let's come around to this side and we will put his arm in. Just before that, we're gonna do this cloak. So if we drop down from the eye and we do a shape like that, and then just under this mouth area we're going to do a diagonal line there, and then his sleeve. Don't worry if you can't get it all on the nail either, guys, it doesn't matter. So just below that top of the cloak we just did, we're going to do a curved line down. Forget the bow for a minute. Again, we just want to get the nice shape in. And then the bottom of the sleeve is about there. So this cloak comes in just below this mouth area. So I'm just going to put in a little curve like that. And then pull that down. Oops, put a bit too much pressure on there, so it made my line thicker, but that's fine. So this is where the bow will be, and then over here we've got the top of his cloak like that, and then I don't know if I'm going to get much of this in, but he does have his white glove over here. Oopsie. Okay, now let's put in that bow. So remember, just focus on, just pluck shapes out, because that bow looks like, whoa, really complicated, you know. See how I'm just taking this one shape, I'm doing that one shape, and then I'm going to move across to the next shape, and then I'm going to move across to the next shape. It really is about, you know, breaking down each shape. And I think I'm actually going to pull out this tummy line as well. Let me just grab my Squeaky Clean brush. This one is absolutely amazing for doing all of your errors. And I'm just going to dip it in some alcohol. Tap that off on my glove. These gloves are absolutely amazing, by the way, guys. I do sell them too. So we're just going to take away this line. Those dots, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, Right, so once that's dry, once that's dry, you can come back and continue. So I'm just going to pull out this tummy a little bit. That looks good. Am I missing anything? Right, we're going to cure that. Okay, so while that is in the lamp, we're going to grab some colours. And I think for the face, I'm going to use Little Mermaid and some Bashful. Oh, where's that one gone? So this is Little Mermaids. And then we have Bashful. Okay, so I'm going to colour in as always with She's So Fine number 9. And I'm going to take Little Mermaid and I'm just going to paint in, oopsie. And I'm just going to start painting in the face area. And I can actually go over any of these lines as well. If you're wondering why I put so much on there, I'm just using my nail as a palette. So I'll put a big blob there and then I can just dip my brush in. These are highly pigmented gel paints from my brand new collection, Perfect Portraits. It's so creamy. Okay, let me just make sure I have covered everything. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the lamp. Okay, so once that's cured, I'm going to take the colour Bashful and I'm going to add that to brighten up his cheeks. Oh, this colour's gorgeous. And I'm just going to lay it down and then I'm going to blend it out in a minute. And at the top of his eyes, I might need to switch to a thinner brush. Okay, so I'm going to use my Squeaky Clean brush again. Make sure it's clean. This one's not. Hold on. You can get these pink lint-free wipes also from my store. I think it's cool just to have everything like cute colours for content and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use Squeaky Clean and I'm just going to ombre those colours down. So I'm just dragging it across, and then I'm going to wipe it onto my glove, and I'm going to drag it again. I'm just going to dry blend it. And as you can see, it's given him a lot more definition and colour in his face. It's making it more 3D. I might add a hint of pink up here as well, just to make his cheek really rosy. Okay, I'm going to cure that. Just to go around his nose, his snout area a little bit, I'm actually going to take some Bo Peep as well, because there is some slight nude tones. I'm just going to take a little bit of that. Right, so we're going to add some of that Bo Peep just around this section. And I'm just blending that out. Okay, what I want to do now is add in a bit of a lighter shade to give that shine. So I'm going to mix Bo Peep with a tiny bit of white, and I want that to go along there. And then I'm going to mix Bashful with some whites, and that will be the shine for the cheek. I'm just going to place it down like that for a moment, and then we can blend it out. So again, I'm going to do the dry blending method. Oh no, this is wet blending, sorry, because I did not cure the Bo Peep colour. Okay, that's looking good. So for this one, I really want to make sure that the highlight is still showing. So I'm really just trying to touch the edges ever so slightly. just going to clean my brush off in between. Just kind of doing a tapping motion. And you can come back and add in more white if you need to. Right now I just want to get the kind of ombre. I'm actually going to use my Dinky Pinky brush because it's a smaller version of Squeaky Clean. And this is a very small area. Okay. So now I'm just going to colour in all of the areas that are red. And I like to do the outside of everything and then just colour in. This red is so gorgeous. I'm going to go over the ribbon. Not the whole ribbon, just the band. Okay, I'm going to pop that in the lamp. Oh yeah, before I pop that in the lamp, let me just do these little holes. Okay, so next up we're going to paint his hat, which is kind of a medium to dark blue. And then we will be adding the highlights and the shading after. I'm just going to colour block it for now, and then I will add the details in after. Okay, let's cure that. So I'm just going to draw in this line here so I know where the edge of the hat is. And it's about there. Okay, so now I'm going to take a really light blue and I'm just going to add in those stars and that moon. I think I'm going to use a smaller brush for this. So I'm just using my skinny mini brush. This is also a 9mm, however it is a super skinny brush for doing your small details. Let's make that a bit wider. Skinny mini is not good for colouring in. Skinny is really skinny, okay? Okay, let's add a star over here. Oops, too much pressure. We move. I'm just kind of drawing it at the moment. Just drawing the legs. Okay, that's perfect. And another one up here. Okay, just colour those in. Okay, that looks good. Right, I'm going to pop that in the lamp. Right, so now we're going to grab some black gel paint or polish, whatever you guys have or prefer to use. And we're going to paint in his ear, the side of his head, and also his nose. Then we will come in and do the background. Oh, and we will do the shading and everything on the hat in a sec. Just want to get this black in. Is that big enough? It's quite big actually. Right, I better grab a thinner brush for this side. Don't forget that little triangle over here. Oh, there's a bit of fluff. Oh, can you guys see it? Oh lordy, it's quite big. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh, it didn't mess up, thank goodness. I'm going to colour that in with a thicker brush. I'm just going to do his irises, pupils, whatever, as well. Just while I have the black on this brush. There is no point in switching if there is other parts I can do while I have this brush in my hand with the right colour loaded, you know. Okay, let me just go to a thicker brush, otherwise I'll be here all day colouring in. And this one is just so much faster. You really do not need a lot of these gel paints. A little bit goes a long way. Make sure you spread it super thin because it's high highly pigmented and you do not want it to crinkle in the lamp. See, I'm just spreading this polish over, making sure it's nice and thin. Right, I think that's it for the black areas. Okay, so before I do any of the detail, I'm actually going to start to do the background. I want to get that in first. Now, I'm using a blue with a dash of black here, and I am going to kind of ombre it into a lighter blue in a minute. I just really want you to be able to see the hat, so... So I'm just going around the outside, cleaning up any areas that need to be cleaned, like that part there. Because this is a darker shade, I can do that because it will just cover it up. So now I'm just going to take some blue and just colour that in. Most gel polishes you will need 2 coats, but because it's such a small area, sometimes you can just get away with 1 when you're doing characters. Okay, so we're going to outline Mickey's face now, and I'm going to use Matoka, which is this gorgeous brown shade. By the way, guys, let me just show you a fun fact about these pots, okay? So no matter which way you put the lid on, yeah, when you twist it and it clicks, it will always end up matching the front. I'm sorry. Wait, what? How? Honestly, it gets me every time. Hopefully the shade is dark enough. I think I'm going to need a darker shade, guys. I am going to grab Cocoa. Yeah, that'll be much better. Okay, so going in with the shade Cocoa now. I think that the bottom of that eye I did a bit too high. Oops. Went a bit skew with there. Okay, while that's drying, I'm going to do some of the detail on Mickey's top. Okay, let me just cure that. Completely missed this part of the blue. And then he has got a little bit of his leg showing down here. So I'm just going to do that in just a lighter, a brown. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to add some shading and make everything look more 3D. So I'm going to take some red, black and some top coat, and this is going to give me the perfect shading colour for Mickey's jacket. If you feel like it's too dark, you can just add in some more top coat. So now that Mickey is complete, we're going to do the star in the sky, which is going to disappear and reappear under different temperatures. So the way to do this is just to place a circle. You can use a dotting tool, but I prefer a brush. Now before you cure it, you're going to take a dry long liner brush and you're just going to pull that circle down. You're going to repeat this for the top, the left and the right side, so you end up with a cross. So to give it that kind of halo effect and make it look like it's really sparkling, you're going to mix some of your white paint with a little bit of top coat, and it's going to give it a translucent color. And I just want you to go over that star with this paint. You should still be able to see the pure gel paint gleaming through, and it will give the glow effect. So now I have finished with my design, I'm going to show you how we can actually make the star disappear. So if you look at the blue that is behind this star, it's lighter this side and darker this side because we did that ombre. So I'm actually going to use for this a mix. I'm going to mix a bit of black magic and sapphire, and I'm actually going to create that ombre. So using my little spoon, which is also available from my store, I'm going to take I really need a tiny bit of pigment for this. Tiny bit of sapphire, and then a tiny bit of black magic. Shouldn't double dip, really. That was really naughty of me. Don't do that, okay? Oops. Pretend you didn't see that. So now I'm going to take some of my top coat glass slipper and just going to place some on the palette. Now make sure my brush is nice and clean, because when you're using magic, you want to make sure that there is no gel polish on your brush, because the magic effect is not going to work if you get any mix of gel polish in there. Okay, so let's mix up some blue first. And you can see this is the kind of blue we want here, so we need it to be darker. Kind of like that dark. Let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to try and just cover up this star, and I'm trying to color match it. As you can see, you can still see the star. I think I'm going to add a little bit of black into my mix and it's going to create a darker blue. Let's try that. Let me just take my mix over here because too much top coat in there. You've got to try and kind of ignore the fact that it's like more risen than the rest of it because of the top coat. Because when you top coat after, that will go. Let me just take away this that I did earlier. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. I'm going to top coat. I'm going to cure that, I mean. Okay, so that is fully cured. Now I'm going to go over with glass slipper. This gel polish really is like glass. Look at that. Okay, we're gonna give that a full cure now. Okay, so there is our Mickey all painted. Now watch as I heat him up. How cute was that? That was just a simple little fun touch. I love it. If you have any questions on my color changing magic nail pigment, please let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to answer you all. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.